Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the course of ME212 Dynamics. This is lecture 27, and in this lecture we will discuss the general plane motion in detail. First we will solve numericals related to the rotation of rigid body about fixed axis, and after that we will discuss the general plane motion and solve numerical related to general plane motion. So in the previous lecture we discussed about the rotation of rigid body about fixed axis. So in this first we have to solve the numerical related to the rotation of rigid body about fixed axis. So this is the numerical solved example 16.1 from your book, and the statement of the numerical is a card is wrapped around a wheel which is initially at rest. So it is given that initially this wheel is at rest and there is a card which is wrapped around the wheel. So if a force is applied to the card and gives it an acceleration a equal to 40, this means that here this is the wheel on which the card is wrapped. So if a force is applied and as a result of that force we apply acceleration to the wheel, so the acceleration magnitude given here is 40 in second. So we have to find out the angular velocity and the angular position as a function of time. So here is consider that this is the wheel. On this wheel here we apply the force, and as a result of this force here an acceleration is acting. So it can be seen that the acceleration that acts is in the tangential direction. As we discussed that the rotation about the rigid body has the two acceleration components. First one was the normal tangential acceleration, and the second one was the normal acceleration. So the acceleration complete have AT plus A n, and AT was equal to alpha time r, and A1 was equal to minus omega square r, this one. So in this case the acceleration that act is tangent to the path or tangent to the wheel. So this means that here the normal acceleration becomes 0. So the total acceleration you have will be equal to tangential acceleration, that will be equal to alpha time the tangential acceleration. So in the magnitude of the tangential acceleration will be equal to alpha time r. So we are given that at equal to 4t, and here alpha was not given to us, so here alpha will be we can simply write this as an alpha, and r here given is 0.2, so we can simply write as 0.2, and from this we can get alpha equal to 20 t radian per square second. As we have to find out omega and the relation between and we derived till now that alpha equal to 20t. So the relation between angular velocity and angular acceleration is alpha equal to d omega by dt. So we can, by substituting the value of alpha 20t equal to d omega by dt, by making this equation as separable. So 20t dt equal to d omega, taking integration on both sides. So here differential integration cancel, and omega equal to 20 times t square divided by 2. So omega equal to 10 t square radian per second. So it will be act in the clockwise direction, as the force as this was the wheel and the force was applied in this direction. So this means that this wheel has to rotate in this direction with an angular velocity as well as with an angular acceleration. This means that angular acceleration also has this direction. So this was about the angular velocity. We also have to find out the angular position. So as we know that there is a relation between the angular velocity and angular position. The angular velocity is equal to rate of change of angular position d theta by dt. So from this we can simply write 10 t square equal to d theta by dt. By making this equation separable, d theta equal to 10 t square dt, taking integration on both sides. So theta equal to 10 t cube over 3. This will be equal to 3.33 t cube radian. So this is the angular position and angular displacement for the rotation of the rigid body about fixed axis. So first you must keep this thing in mind that in this equation we haven't used the equations that we derive for the constant acceleration. As in this we got alpha equal to 20t. And if we get if the case was in such a way that we have alpha equal to 20, just 20, then in that case we can use the equation that we derived in the previous slides for the constant acceleration, that we simply use theta equal to theta naught plus omega t, omega naught t, and in this way we have other equation. But in this case is alpha is a function of time, so as alpha is not constant, so we can't use the constant angular acceleration equation. Thank you. Now let us discuss the relative motion analysis, which is the velocity in the velocity form. So relative motion analysis comes under the domain of a general plane motion. So in the previous lectures we discussed this thing briefly, that the general plane motion is a combination of translation motion as well as the rotation motion. So there are other three types of the motion of the rigid body. First one was the translation motion, second one was the rotation motion, and third one was the general plane motion. So general plane motion is a combination of translation as well as rotation motion. So in general plane motion, the rigid body simultaneously go under a translation as well as rotation motion. So let us say that there is a rigid body. Consider this is the rigid body, this is the initial location of rigid body. So after some time this rigid body move to new location, and the new location of the rigid body will be like this. So this means that this rigid body has undergo a translation as well as rotation motion. So we can consider the motion as translation motion first. Then let us say that there is a point A and there is a point B on this rigid body. So this will be point A and this will be the point B. So the body undergo a translation motion first. So after the translation motion, the body will rotate about the axis that is passing through the point A and come to the new location. So this is simply the general plane motion. So consider that you have bar. Let us say this is the bar having the two particles on that bar is particle A and particle B. So consider the inertia frame of reference. Let us say that the inertia frame of reference are X and Y, and this is your fixed origin. So what will be the position of particle B with respect to the fixed inertia frame of reference? You have to draw the position vector. So draw the position vector. So B is the position vector which show the position of the particle B with respect to the fixed origin. So what will be the position of the particle A with respect to the fixed origin? Again you have to draw the position vector. Let us say that this is the position vector RA which show the position of the particle A with respect to the fixed origin. Now what will be the position of the particle A with respect to particle B, or particle B position with respect to particle A? As we discussed this thing in detail in the previous lectures, that you have to draw the translating axis on the observer. Let us say that the observer is particle A. So you have to draw the translating axis X prime and Y prime on the observer, and draw the position vector starting from observer and end at object. So let us say that position vector is RB with respect to A, which show the position of the particle B with respect to particle A. So in this case particle B become our object and particle A become observer. So we can simply write the position equation as by simply vector addition. We can write as RB equal to RA plus RB with respect to A, simply by vector addition. Here we have the vectors. First one is RA vector, and this RA, the head of this RA vector is connected to the tail of RB with respect to A. So head to tail rule we can simply use to find the position equation. So this is the position equation, but in this derivation of the position equation I haven't talked that the body undergo translation motion, body undergo rotation motion. I simply consider the static bar, and with respect to the fixed inertial frame of the reference, the position of that bar. I haven't talked about the displacement, the velocity cover, that is translation, or the rotation motion. Simply there was a fixed bar and there was a fixed inertial frame of the reference, and from the inertial frame of the reference what will be the position of the particles on that bar. I only talk about this. Now as in the previous slide I derived the position equation, which was the RB equal to RA plus RB with respect to A, which show the position of the particle B, particle A, and particle A B with respect to A position vectors. And this equation is derived with respect to the fixed inertial frame of the reference. Now let us say that there is a bar. Let us say that this is the bar and this is at time t, and this bar is fixed bar. And with respect to the fixed origin, let us say that there is a fixed origin, inertial frame of the reference X and Y. And with respect to X and Y there is a position of the particle B and this vector show the position of particle A, and there is some translating axis, let us say that x prime and y prime, and y prime show the position of the particle B with respect to A, and this RB is the position of B with respect to A. So this is the with respect to the there is a fixed bar, and these are the position with respect to the fixed inertial frame of the reference. So now let us say that this body undergo the translation as well as the rotation motion, that is the general plane motion. So after some time the body travel, let us say that the time at time t plus dt, this body move from the location 1 to the new location 2. So the new location 2, as can be seen that the body undergo the translation as well as the rotation motion. So we can simply write this general plane motion is translation motion plus rotation motion. So we can split the general plane motion into two motion, which are the translation as well as the rotation motion. So first split this motion into the translation motion. So let us say that this was the location of the rigid body at time t. So after some time t plus dt, this rigid body go through a translation motion. So let us say that the translation motion is this one. This was the new location of the rigid body, and this one is the location of the particle B. Let us say that we call this as particle B prime. So this is the new location of the particle B. So this body undergo the displacement. So here the displacement covered by particle A is dra. So the displacement and this final displacement covered by particle B is drb. So as in the translation motion, as we know that the displacements cover are thus equal. So this means that this displacement will be equal to TRA, as we discussed this thing in the previous slide, in the previous lectures, that for the general plane for the translation motion, each and every particle on the rigid body undergo the same displacement. So this means that this is equal to DRA. So just keep this thing in mind that when I simply write RA, RB or RB with respect to A, it shows the position vector. But when I write DRA or DRB or DRB with respect to A, this means that displacement. As this body undergo some at time t plus dt, this body undergo with some velocity v, so it has covered some displacement, and also this body has some acceleration if there is some change in velocity. We will discuss the acceleration in the next lecture. So as this body move with some velocity, it has covered some displacement. So this means that each and every particle on that rigid body undergo some displacement. So let us say that the body A, the particle A on this rigid body undergo displacement dra, and the particle B on this body undergo displacement drb, the final displacement. As the body is undergoing through the general plane motion, which is a combination of translation and rotation motion, we can split the general plane motion into translation motion as well as the rotation motion. First split this into a translation motion. So in the translation motion, the position of the body in particle B on the rigid body will be equal to dra, which is also equal to drb at that instant, or drb prime at that instant. So after this rigid body rotate about the axis which is passing through the particle A. Let us say that the fixed origin, the axis passes to the particle A is out from the slide. So this rigid body has rotate about this axis through an angular displacement d theta and come to the new location, which is B. So the new location will be this one. So there is an intermediate, let us say that this is the intermediate state of the translation motion, and in this case there is a displacement covered by a body. There is some change in displacement which is equal to drb with respect to A, which shows the position of the body particle PB after translation motion and when the rotation motion end. So according to here it become the triangle. This one is DRA, it shows DRB with respect to A, and this is DRB. So by simply vector addition we can simply write as DRB equal to DRA plus DRB with respect to A. So this is the displacement equation, the displacement for the general plane motion. So here it can be seen that when the body undergo the translation motion, let us say that there is no DRB. So when DRA equal to DRB, the motion was translation motion. So when there is DRA b with respect to a, this means that it is a combination of translation motion as well as the rotation motion. So this is all about the displacement for the general plane motion. So the displacement equation that we derived for the general plane motion in the previous slide was drb equal to dra plus drb with respect to a. Here drb shows the displacement of the particle b, dra shows the displacement of particle a, and drb shows the displacement of the particle b with respect to a. Here drb was the combination of translation plus rotation, as the particle b undergo the translation as well as rotation. So this was only because of translation. The position of the particle a was only because of translation, and after that the particle b rotate about the particle a, about the axis that passes through the particle a. So this is because of the rotation. So this is simply the translation plus rotation equal to translation motion plus rotation motion, or in other words, general plane motion is a combination of translation plus rotation motion. So this was about the displacement equation. Now what is the velocity? Velocity is the rate of change of displacement. So we have to take the derivative or time derivative of this equation. So by taking time derivative of this equation, so it becomes drb with our dt equal to dra over dt plus drb with respect to a over dt. So what does this mean? It means that it is the velocity of particle b, and this is equal to velocity of particle a plus velocity of particle b with respect to a. So the velocity of the particle b with respect to a, this is because of the relative displacement. This one is your relative displacement. So the velocity of the particle b with respect to a is caused by the relative displacement. And how relative displacement occurs? Relative displacement is because of the rotation of the particle b about the particle a, or about the axis that passes through the particle a. So we can simply write this as omega cross rb with respect to a. As we discussed this in the rotation of the rigid body about fixed axis, that the velocity of the rigid body, when the rigid body rotate about an axis with an angular velocity omega equal to omega cross rb with respect to a. So this equation become r velocity of b equal to velocity of a plus omega cross rb with respect to a. Here rb with respect to a shows the position of the particle b with respect to a, and multiplying cross multiply with omega shows the velocity of the particle b with respect to a. So this is the velocity equation for the general plane motion. So from this equation we can we can say that when the vb equal to va, or in other words, when omega cross rb equal to 0, we will have translation motion. Okay, and when this becomes 0 and this become non-zero, then we have vb equal to omega cross rb with respect to a, and this become rotation motion. So here we can simply write vb as when both are not 0, we can simply write as this is the general plane motion. Here GPM stands for the general plane motion. So this is the all about the velocity and displacement for the general plane motion. So here we have the equation vb equal to va plus vp with respect to a, and state that the velocity of the particle b is determined by considering this entire bar to be translate as well as rotate. So it has the effect of the translation as well as the rotation motion. So when the bar translate with the velocity va, so each and every particle on this rigid body has a velocity va, same velocity. So after that, this bar rotate about the axis that passes through the particle a within velocity equal to vb with respect to a, which is r time rb with respect to a. So by simply the vector addition, vb equal to va plus vb with respect to a, which means that the vector addition of these two effects yield vb. Now let us solve the numerical related to the general plane motion of a rigid body. So the statement of the numerical, this is the fundamental 16.10 numerical from your book, Hibbeler book, exercise fundamental problem, and the statement of the numerical is: if a crank OA rotate with an angular velocity of 12 radian per second, determine the velocity of the piston B and the angular velocity of the rod AB at the instant shown. At this instant you have to find out the velocity of the piston B and the angular velocity of the rod AB. Here you have two rod OA and rod AB that are joined together at the pin connection at point A. So the rod OA, which is the crank rod, it is rotating with an angular velocity of 12 radian per second, and you have to find out the velocity of the piston B and the angular velocity of the rod AB. So the velocity equation that we derived earlier is VB equal to VA plus VB with respect to A. This was the equation that we derived. So this equation can also be written in the form VA plus omega cross RB with respect to A. Here you have to keep this thing in mind that RB with respect to A is the position vector. While deriving the velocity equation, the two nomenclature was used. One was the R and other was the dr. So R simply shows the position and dr is the displacement. You have to keep this thing in mind while deriving the velocity equation for the general plane motion of rigid body. So here in this numerical we have two links. First one is the link OA and another one is the link or rod AB. So you can start from any of the rod or any of the link, but the simplest way is to start from the link having any of the point fixed. So is in this figure the point O is fixed, so we can start with this. So by writing the velocity equation for this rod OA, we can simply write as velocity of the point A equal to velocity of the point O plus omega OA cross R OA, where R OA is basically starting from point O and end with point A, and consider that the inertia frame of reference is X and Y. You can simply consider this is basically showing us the direction. So you can write this velocity equation. So in this figure, as the point O is fixed, so this means that its velocity is 0. So also it is given that the omega OA equal to 12 radian per second, and as in this diagram it is given that 12, it is in counterclockwise direction. So it means that in vector form, omega OA equal to omega OA time k unit vector. Consider this is the z direction and the unit vector out from the slide is k, and in x direction the unit vector is I, in y direction the unit vector is j, and in z direction the unit vector is k. So this is the omega OA time ROA. Now what is the position of the particle A with respect to the fixed origin O? So here it is written as 0.3 meter and it is in the y direction. So we can simply write R OA equal to 0.3 times J. So by substituting this in the above equation, VA equal to 12K cross multiplied by 0.3 J. So when the cross multiplication, we can simply use this technique I, here J and here K. So I cross multiply with J equal to K, and J multiply by K equal to I, and in the reverse manner, like here it is taken as positive and this is taken as negative. So K multiply by J equal to minus I, J cross multiply with I equal to minus K. So this is the technique that we can use in the cross multiplication. So here it is written as K with respect to J. So K multiplied by J means in this direction, so it is the negative direction. So this become equal to minus 3.6 I meter per second. So this is the velocity of the point A. So the velocity for the point A we got was the velocity of point A equal to minus 3.6 I meter per second. So here the coordinate system that we used was in this direction was X, and this was Y, and this direction was Z. This was our fixed origin. What does this mean? It is minus 3.6 I. It means that it is acting in the negative x direction. This means that the velocity VA is acting in this direction. This is the vector form of the velocity VA. Now in this link O and A, the link O was fixed. This means that VO equal to 0, and the velocity A we determine, and this is equal to minus 3.6 I meter per second in vector form. Now come to the link AB. So in the link AB, we have to find out the velocity of the piston B. So we can simply write the velocity equation that we derive for the general plane motion: VB equal to VA plus omega AB cross RB with respect to A. For the omega AB, you can write omega AB or omega BA. There is not any physics behind this by writing AB or BA. But while writing RB with respect to A or A with respect to B, you have to keep this thing in mind. Either you are writing the equation with respect to A or with respect to B. So as we write this equation with by considering the object as the particle B and observer at particle A. So VB equal to VA plus omega AB cross RB with respect to A. So in this equation, VA we already determined. What is omega AB? We have no idea omega AB, but we can assume the direction of omega AB. So let us say that the omega AB direction equal to is in the omega is acting in the K direction, positive K direction. As in this figure here is we can say that this omega AB here the rod OA is rotating with an angular velocity of 12 radian per second in the K direction. So we can simply assume AB also rotating in the K direction. You can also assume this in the negative K direction. So here in this case we can simply write is omega AB in the K direction by considering that, assuming that it is acting in the positive K direction. You can also consider it as acting in the negative K direction. So we got a clue about the direction of omega AB. Now what will be the velocity of B? As the particle B is as the body B or particle, consider this piston as a particle. So the particle B is constrained to move in vertical direction only. So this means that its velocity has to be act in either in the positive y direction or in the negative y direction. But consider that here this OB is OA is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Also the velocity at point A is acting in the negative x direction. So this means that this rod AB has to move in the forward direction. So this means that the velocity at the particle B has to be acting in upward direction. This will be the direction of the velocity. So this means that the velocity VB equal to velocity VB magnitude time J direction, positive J direction. So you can also, if you can't in any of the numerical you can't make any sense about the direction, you can simply assume the direction. If the answer was positive, this means that your assumed direction is correct. If the answer you get is negative, this means that the direction you assume is wrong. You have to change the direction. So after this, we can write the velocity VB equation as VB equal to minus 3.6 I, which is the magnitude. This is the VA value of the VA plus omega AB K vector multiplied by RB with respect to A. This is the cross multiplication. So in this equation we have to find out RP with respect to A. Now RB with respect to A is the position of the particle B with respect to the particle A. So this means that you have to draw the position vector. Let us say that the position vector is, this is the position vector, this is RB with respect to A. So here R B with respect to A has a magnitude equal to 0.6 given in the question. Here the angle given is 30 degree. So you can simply and this is acting in this direction, so you can simply resolve this 0.6. so this will be 0.6 times cos of 30 degree, and this will be 0.6 times sine of 30 degree. So this means that RB with respect to A equal to 0.6 cos of 30 degree, and it is acting in the positive x direction, so this will be I. plus 0.6 sine of 30 degree, and it is acting in the negative y direction minus j. So this be equal to, or b with respect to a will be equal to 0.52 I minus 0.3 j. So this is the position of the particle B with respect to the particle A. Now this substitute this in the velocity equation. So the velocity equation we got will be Vb equal to minus 3.6 I plus omega AB k vector cross multiply with 0.52 I minus 0.3 j. This is the general form of the velocity Vp. So the Vb equation that we got was equal to Vb equal to minus 3.6 I plus omega AB k cross 0.52 I minus 0.3 j. So in this equation, how many unknown by cross multiplying k and I, we can get Vb equal to minus 3.6 I plus, okay, again you can simply write here is I, j and k. I with j equal to k, j with k equal to I, and k with I equal to j. So this direction will be positive and this direction will be negative for cross multiplication of unit vector. So first we have to cross multiply k with I. So k with I equal to j. So this will become equal to plus 0.52 omega AB j. And then second is k with j. So k with j equal to minus. So this will be minus 0.3 omega AB into minus I. So this equation become minus 3.6 I plus 0.52 omega AB j unit vector plus 0.3 omega AB I unit vector. So in this is the vector form. So in the vector form, we also in the previous slide, as this velocity has to move in the upward direction, so we can simply write this Vb in vector form. Instead of vector form, we can write this as Vb in term of j. So this will be equal to Vb j equal to minus 3.6 I plus 0.52 omega AB j unit vector plus 0.3 omega AB I unit vector. So in this equation we have only one equation and two unknown. First unknown is Vb and second unknown is omega AB. So how can we find out these two unknown from the one equation? So this one equation is basically in two coordinates. First is the x coordinate and the second one is the y coordinate. So we can simply write this equation is 0I plus Vbj equal to, here we can add the items together, combine the items together, minus 3.6 plus 0.3 omega AB, this will be the I unit vector plus 0.52 omega AB j unit vector. So by equating the I in j terms, so 0 equal to minus 3.6 plus 0.3 omega AB, and the second term will be Vb equal to 0.52 omega AB. So here we have two equations and the two unknown. So by solving we get omega AB equal to 12 radian per second. And here the direction we got here we get the positive magnitude. This means that the direction that we assume was in the positive k direction and that direction was correct. If we get this as a minus 12, this means that our assumed direction is wrong. And the Vb value we get is Vb equal to 6.24 meter per second. So you must keep again this thing in mind that always you have to give the magnitude of velocity or acceleration in terms of vector. So in terms of the vector, is the velocity vector vb equal to vb times j. So this will be equal to 6.24 j meter per second. So these are the answer for the angular velocity of the rod AB and the velocity of the point B on the in case of the general plane motion of the rigid body. So in this way you can solve the numerical. So this is the simplest numerical that I solve for you. In the next lecture I again solve one or two numerical related to this topic. So now after solving this fundamental problem, you will be able to solve the example, solve example 6.6 from the book. So this is your homework. No need to submit this homework. You have to just practice the numerical the example 6.6 from the book. Thank you. This is all from the today.